Chip Zdarsky and Miguel Mendonca bring the Justice League to Apokolips, where Batman intends on imprisoning Lobo while the League stop rogue United Planet elements from killing him. But can the League come together and overcome their past problems, or will their failures get in their way? Chip Zdarsky slows things down a little bit here as our team set up shop on Apokolips and wait for a coming war. I quite enjoyed having a moment just to sort of unpack everything from the last two issues and also broach the subject that this league isn't really a league anymore, with a few key members coming to the realization that death is inevitable and it's a part of life, and a part of being a hero is death, and it's something they can't run from, with Chip Zdarsky using this to focus on Superman and Batman butting heads over the death of Martian Manhunter. Chip does something fun with that plot trope by stopping it before it actually really happens, having Wonder Woman step in to tell both men to stop acting like children and act like the heroes they are and should be. It was pretty great that it didn't get to the point where there were just issues upon issues of just them both fighting one another just because of their differing ideologies and whatnot. Manhunter also appearing as a ghost on Batman's shoulder and kind of like this sort of Ghost of Christmas Past sort of thing, showing Batman visions of the future and what could happen and stuff, was pretty great, and a great use of the character as well, allowing him to be part of the present day storyline in a unique way. One of the main ideas behind the book is literally the last ride of the Justice League. Like I said before, the death is inevitable for them, and specifically Superman, and this issue explores him as a hero who is tired of fighting against death and is kind of done with it all, but he still continues to fight, and it's because of Lois Lane, and Lois being kind of his guiding light, which is utterly perfect and a really great role that has been done before with Lois, and it's one I continue to really enjoy. Miguel Mendonca delivers some rather wholesome looks at our heroes, mainly just hanging out with each other, with no real actual action in the traditional sense happening in this issue. Having the heroes just kind of sit around a campfire without their masks on is a great way to humanize them, but then we also get some great sort of heroic stuff from them, especially Wonder Woman, who gets this really great page showcasing her brave warrior character as she fights aliens in space. So it's great we can have both sides of the spectrum through the artwork. Justice League Last Ride issue 3 was a slower issue compared to the last two issues, exploring more of these characters' feelings and their place in a world where the Justice League has been shattered apart. Chip Zdarsky does some fantastic character work with these characters, flipping tropes on their heads and exploring some often unseen parts of their characters that I'm looking forward to continuing next issue. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. Justice League Last Ride issue 3 sees the League finally arrive on Apokolips, with Batman knowing exactly where to take Lobo, landing the Javelin in the Dark Baron. The team disembark in the desert, with John wanting him and Hal to build a prison for Lobo, but Batman says that will be a waste of their power, since he knows exactly where to store him, pointing out a sinister looking structure nearby. The hero says that it's a type of Apokolips summer home, and it was once owned by Desard, Darkseid's chief torturer, who will no doubt have ways to restrain Lobo. The team look over the creepy home, with Lobo liking his new bachelor pad. Batman knows that there are several beds in the estate as well for the League, wanting them to check them before using them, as Lobo is sealed in an Iron Maiden-like device, as John knows that night is coming and they need a plan for their next move. Flash says that it's time for some campfire ghost stories as the team set up camp outside under the stars. Batman doesn't like it since the fire could alert some local wildlife and they're endangering each other all so they can eat some more. Superman corrects him, saying that it's actually s'mores, as John asks if Hal is coming to sit with them. Hal says he'll be there soon, but he contacts Jessica to ask how she and Kilowog are going with the United Planets. Jessica says that it's intense, but Kilowog is handling the situation, but the delegates are insisting they tell them where Lobo is. Jessica says that they have some ex-core members scouting the universe for any threats, but this will get ugly since some factions have broken off from the United Planets and have put a bounty on Lobo's head, and while they are making it seem like they want justice, Jessica thinks it's because they have used Lobo's services in the past and don't want him on trial for fear of what he might reveal. Hal tells her that they will be extra vigilant, telling the rest of the team about the bounty and how, as usual, it's them against the universe. Wonder Woman knows that they have been there before and will again, and Batman and Superman can fight all they want, but they are bound together and books will be written about their deeds. She tells them that they are family and families fight, but in the end, they are still family. She toasts to the League, and as does everyone else except for Batman, as Wally decides it's time for bed. Superman says that he and Wonder Woman will keep watch since neither of them need sleep. Team turn in as Bruce also decides he'll sleep, saying he only needs 2 hours of it, not wanting Diana to hesitate to wake him if she needs him. Wonder Woman tells Clark he can grab some sleep as well, knowing he doesn't need it, but it's good to have. But Clark is fine though, since lately, sleep isn't his favourite thing. Bruce meanwhile drifts off to a dreamless sleep when suddenly he sees Martian Manhunter in his dreams, as Bruce finds himself as a child. He tells Manhunter not to go down the alley, but it's too late as John is shot in the chest. Manhunter says that he knew what he was doing and Bruce cannot stop death, only delay it, and that is what happens to heroes and it will happen to all of them, but it's not Bruce's fault, or Batman's either. The spirit of Manhunter tells Bruce it is no one's fault but Darkseid's, wanting the man to save his energy and anger for him since evil is coming and it will take a league to stop them. Bruce awakens, asking himself why John is inside his head. The next morning, Kilowog contacts Hal, telling him of the reports that Lobo has been revealed to be on Apokolips, so they'll have company soon. Hal wonders how that's possible, so Kilowog suspects that some of the ex-Corps members leaked the info, since some of the Guardians doing nothing to stop Darkseid is still seen as a black mark, and they would prefer a dead Lobo than one on trial. Hal knows he should have kept this closer to the vest as Batman arrives, knowing Kilowog was telling Hal to prepare for intruders. Superman knows that this isn't just his usual paranoia, but Bruce says that it's preparedness, revealing he had some type of dream where someone told him this would happen. Hal knows that it's unlike Bruce, wondering if he's going to start using tea leaves to see the future as well. Bruce knows that this is different since he doesn't dream unless he decides to, since his subconscious is helpful with some cases, and last night someone in his dream told him that they are coming for them. Superman asks who it was, and Bruce merely says that it was a friend, and it's possible someone is using telepathy to steer them in the wrong direction, but he doesn't think that's the case and they need to be proactive. He tells the team that he has a plan and he and Hal will head to Darkseid's control center to activate planetary defenses, while Diana and Wally protect Lobo and John and Clark head into space to stop the intruders. Clark doesn't want to do that, finding Bruce has some nerve trying to send him into space after what happened. Diana demands both of them stop at once, since she'll go into space with John. She says that Bruce can control his sleep and see a problem and he masters the solution, so maybe he should turn that skillful eye of his to managing people for once. She tells Superman that he is meant to be the best of them, so he better start acting like it. Boarding the Javelin, Wonder Woman heads into space as John joins her, telling everyone to stay in contact over their communications devices. Batman and Hal head 1,500 miles southwest to the command center, leaving Clark and Wally alone with Lobo. Wally says that he can give Clark some space, but the hero knows that it's okay since they have a job to do. Batman meanwhile contacts Cyborg on Earth, who is coordinating the heroes of Earth to try and find anything suspicious. Raven wonders if Batman really thinks this is all just a distraction for an attack, and Nightwing knows he does since he's Batman. Bruce however says that the chances are low, but getting the League off-world is someone's endgame, wanting to be kept in the loop if something happens. Hal hopes that everything is all good and Bruce knows so far it is, but it's not like when they started the League, but the generation behind them are good people and they are strong and smart, so the future and Earth is in good hands. Hal never thought that he would see Batman become an optimist, but Bruce says he's saying that they are not necessary as they think they are, and it's okay for the Justice League to die. Flash meanwhile runs a perimeter check on the home, finding nothing there, asking if Superman is good to hold down the fort. Superman says he's fine as Lobo knows that Big Blue seems off his game lately and he's seen that look before, before. The look when one knows their end is coming, and Superman can feel it in the back of his skull. Lobo knows that the Man of Steel has been swinging away at death and his arms are getting tired, and he knows he isn't coming back from this fight without blood on his hands. Superman silently leaves the home, contacting Lois, who forgot she had a communicator in her ear, so she's surprised to hear her husband. She asks if everything is okay, and Clark says so far it is, but he just wanted to hear her voice. Lois reminds Clark who he's talking to, knowing before he left he kept saying he was fine, but she tells him it's okay to not be fine, since everyone goes through hard times. As Batman and Green Lantern hack into the command center, Wonder Woman and John confront the arriving fleet of alien ships. Lois knows that even a Wonder Woman or a Superman fall on hard times sometimes, and it's why Clark has her and his friends, since no matter the obstacle, he's not alone. The command center's doors soon open as Hal asks if Batman is okay, as the Dark Knight stares into the dark void where Martian Manhunter died.